Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is MazezRealm once again, and welcome to a very special episode of my Keys to Success series. Now, the reason why this is a very special episode is because I'm going to be covering one of the most played game modes in Black Ops 2, and I'll teach you guys basically what you guys have to do in order to get a good kill-death ratio, play the objective, and get a win in Domination. Now, most things in Black Ops 2 you really cannot control. You can't control how the enemy is going to be playing the game or how your teammates are going to be playing the game. However, I'm basically going to be covering what you have to do as a Domination player to conquer that game mode. So without further ado, I'll jump right in to the match, and it's Domination, as I mentioned before, on the map Yemen. And right off the bat, you can see that my team and I moved up to get the Alpha flag, and then the rest of my teammates decided to cover the Bravo flag and head to the nearest direct route to the Bravo flag. And in most cases, that actually it leads to a very, very quick death, because that's what the enemy team is expecting. However, if you notice, I took a completely different route. I took the longest outskirt route that I could possibly take, and I ended up flanking the enemy, killing them while they were trying to cover the Bravo flag, and then killed the enemy from behind that was capturing the Bravo flag, and captured the flag. So now I'm actually headed back to the Alpha flag where I spawned originally with my team, because the enemy team had already transitioned over to Alpha because they wanted to take Bravo and then Alpha. And that's usually how the enemy team plays when they're playing the objective very, very diligently. And in Domination, what you have to really remember is that playing the objective is something that has to be paramount. However, you have to play it intelligently. You really have to set up the area so that you can capture. And capturing a flag by yourself is usually not a good thing. So now I'm actually going to go right into the gameplay. I went ahead and got my lightning strike, and I am not using the hardline perk. I'm actually using Ghost with lightweight, toughness, scavenger, and I'm using dexterity with the PDW with quick draw and a suppressor. So my class is based on getting to the objective very, very quickly. And the enemy team was really not as intelligent, because they were playing the objective, but they were just not playing together as a team. They were really running around like if it was a team deathmatch, and it was getting them killed. So I have my Dragonfire here, and I'm actually right on the Alpha flag, and notice I'm not capturing it, obviously, because I'm using the kill streak. But notice that I waited to get my kill streak before advancing. I wanted to kill all of the enemies in this particular area to get all of my kill streaks. That way I actually had air support to get my kill streak going. And unfortunately, I died there after getting my stealth chopper, which is my final kill streak that I'm using here. So what you have to do is, if you are playing with a team of randoms on Domination, you have to really make sure that you play the objective when it's convenient, but be sure that the enemy does not capture those objective points. You have to kill the enemies before they get a chance to really get the objective. That way you get your kill streaks, and then once you completely clear out that entire area, then you have air support to cover your ass while you're capturing the objective, and then you actually help chain those next point streaks, because you actually get points towards your point streak, obviously, by capturing flags. And when they're enemy flags, it actually gives you more points as well. So there's just a science to actually playing the objective in a very intelligent way, and then being sure to hold the enemy in their spawn while your teammates are on the other side of the map covering their original objectives. Now you actually see that the teammates are doing a decent job, at least they were doing a decent job, of covering the main flags. And every time that the flags were beginning to get lost, immediately the teammates started to flank over to that area. The minute we started losing our main flag, which was the Charlie flag in this particular case, you saw that then I went ahead and captured Alpha so that the spawns could swap over to that. However, the only problem with that was that by the time the enemy got to Bravo, our teammates were still capturing Alpha and didn't get a chance to basically protect Bravo. Luckily for us, though, we had taken a triple cap lead on them, and they really could not get a chance to play the objective fast enough before halftime arrived. So now halftime arrives, and we were taking the lead, and the score was 112 to 57.
Domination.
So we took a significant lead. As you can see, I was actually on another kill streak.
Capture the objectives.
And that is a good place to be when you're starting the next round. And you want to keep an eye out on the clock so that you can actually not call in your point streaks prematurely when you only have like 30 seconds left on a round. Say you're using an orbital VSAT, or or you're using swarm and dogs. If you get your swarm and then you get your your VSAT near the end of the first round, you're obviously not going to want to call it in with just a minute left, because your kill streaks aren't going to be able to do that much work when you are calling him in with just like 30 seconds or a minute left. That's obvious. So you definitely want to keep a conscious eye on the clock and make sure that you are conscious of that. You don't want to do that when the game is on the line. Even if you have the lead, since the spawns flip, you have a momentum loss. It shifts the momentum back to either team, and that is something that you definitely want to make sure is in your favor as opposed to the enemy team's favor when you start the round. So now you see that I'm on a 17 kill streak. I'm not exactly sure what my gun streak was, but I was definitely on an 18 kill streak now, as you can see, and I was guarding the Charlie flag. We triple capped again, and the enemy team at this point was running scared. They just could not get anything going offensively because they now were playing catch-up. When you triple cap a team, yes, you won't probably get a 100 kill game like you probably want to work for, but you will get a complete shift in enemy momentum. They just will not be able to get anything going when they're running with, like chickens without a head, and spawning in all areas of the map and not really spawning on a particular flag. That is when your entire team will then start getting really good spawns, and the enemy team will start spawning in your crosshairs. You're starting to see that the enemy is spawning all over the place, and at that point they started to die a whole lot. They also started to kill my teammates because unfortunately they were not the best players at Domination, so they struggled when we did not have a triple cap, and I kept that in mind. And so I really tried to protect our home flag so that our team could actually have a safe spawning area. If we got triple cap, then we would obviously go through the exact same problem that the enemy team was going through. So I wanted to get my kill streak going again, and I began to get a kill streak going, and then I got shot. So I was like, man, I was trying to call out to my team, telling them, look, we need to get either the Alpha flag or the Bravo flag back. In my recommendation, when the Bravo flag, I should say, is in the enemy team's possession, you definitely want to make sure that you throw it off balance by actually getting their home flag, which would be Alpha, and then forcing them to shift over to their alpha flag. And then when you do that, it will actually give your team the ability to sweep into the Bravo flag and take it uncontested. That is something that you want to do when playing Domination. Granted, this is basically a tutorial to helping you guys play the objective in an intelligent way. Not necessarily get your 100 kill game or your 200 kill game if you're a really good player in Domination or Ground War Domination. So this is basically how to do well if you are working on ranking up, you know, getting your Domination captures, getting your Domination defends, and getting a decent kill death ratio while doing that. And that's what you want to do in Domination. I know that there are players that can actually win while, you know, not playing the objective, but then supporting their team by getting the really high score streaks. And that is a strategy, a legitimate strategy that you can implement in Domination if you're a good player and you win most of your gunfights. That is something that is important to know when you're a strict Slayer in Domination. So for those of you guys who are not Slayers in Domination, this is the best way to play Domination and basically come out on top with a good kill death ratio and a good win-loss as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this commentary, and if you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, you can actually do that by clicking on the subscribe button right there on the top right. That helps me out a whole bunch, and then that way you guys could benefit from all of the content that I post on my channel. So if you would like to watch the previous episode of my Keys to Success series, you can do that by clicking on the annotation there on the screen. If you want to watch a similar series to this one, you can click on the thumbnail or the annotation there on the right. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and interact with me one-on-one, and I can answer all of your guys' questions regarding any of my series or the Double Talk show or anything else you guys want to talk about, you can follow me on Twitter and just hover over that Twitter icon there on the top left. And if you want to check out the rest of my playlist and everything else I have to offer on my channel, you can do that by clicking on the MazezRealm icon there on the bottom of your screen. So, as I mentioned before, I hope that you guys enjoyed this commentary, and until next time, this has been MazezRealm. I'm out.